It's April 18th, 2012, so we are week 4, day 3 of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Again, it was cardio today. Feel really good. I mean, man, the thing, which they call it level 10, you just get that sweat and you just can't stop sweating for, I swear, like an hour or two before it just finally stops. But feel really good. I mean, anytime that you're working out, your energy level, you just feel better about yourself. And it just encourages you and, creates that confidence in you. But, it's something that also can help when you're talking with other people. In fact, something I really learned this morning, I did a business before breakfast as I was, I do those a lot with networking with my DJ business. And of course, I talk about how I work in radio and the different things that I've done. But I was chatting with a lady, and it's interesting because she was at a dinner the other night, and the keynote speaker, something that she heard was, you need to stop the shoulds, or the shouldas. And of course, you sit there. What do you mean, the shoulds? This is anytime you're encouraging somebody else. You're doing something, feeling good about yourself, finding yourself sometimes that you want to help somebody else. So you might get a little overbearing. Sometimes, it's one of those things, people forget where they came from. And I always try to remember where I was before I got to where I am now, to try and encourage somebody and help somebody when they're going through the same issues and problems and discouragements that I went through. But it's the shouldas. And I sat back as she was telling me about this, and I'm like, you're right, because I've got so many, some friends of mine that, they want to encourage you, they want to help you, but it's always the shouldas. Well, you should have done this. You did things really well, but you shoulda. You're farther along, but you shoulda. And it's like that really hard criticism that, at some point you end up fighting back of, I don't care what I should have done, because in your mind, you know where you were. Like for me, I know where I was. I know where I came from and what it took me to get to where I am now. And a lot of times people come into your life later after, a lot of the issues and different things that you went through. And you can tell them all about it, but they weren't there to watch you go through it. So they know, well, here is where I am now. So they just know where you are now, and then they just push. And like for me, where I am at this point, it's a lot farther than where I was. And I think I've done darn well. And yes, there's still more that I need to do. But how easy is it to get discouraged when every time you talk to a friend, well, you shoulda. You could still do this. You could have done it better. Or, what about that next step? Another thing that she was saying in this keynote speaker mentioned that, 70% of the things that come out of your mouth with friends or with coworkers or what should be praise. You need to be praising them for the good things that they're doing. And then that way, if you're praising them, the 30% of critiques, you're doing it as a positive critique rather than you shoulda, they're probably going to accept it a little more because they know of how you're very impressed of what they've accomplished so far. And you're focusing on their accomplishments and not focusing on what they could have done better. And that's where the encouraging words come in to really help somebody, to help them move forward. I mean, the Bible tells you that, to worry about the log in your own eye before you worry about the splinter in your brother's eye. And how many of us are going after everybody else's splinters and not dealing with our own issues and finding out what we need to do to improve ourselves, but yet we always have the answers for everybody else. And I'm just as guilty as this as anybody else. But these are the things you got to look at. These are the things that you've got to focus on as you're building your own character, building yourself up and building up your confidence and moving forward and just feeling good about yourself. When you want to take that good feeling that you have and share it with other people, you got to realize how you're doing it and what you're doing to that person. Because sometimes if you're just way over the top and just too overbearing and just in their face with it, you actually can hurt somebody and discourage them and become an obstacle for their own growth in their life. So just think about how you're sharing that with other people. I mean, I really want to be an encouraging person to everyone else. I mean, I'll sit there and, you know, somebody wants to get in a fight with me. I'm like, you know, take all the pot shots you want. I'm not going to do it. That's just not me. Because what's that going to gain? And whenever you're upset and you say things, you know, you always say things that you don't really mean. Yeah, I just try not to get into it. You can, you know, rip on me all you want. My life's used to it. That's what's happened. But you know what? When it's all said and done, man, you gotta be there for each other no matter what. Think about it, take a deep breath, and figure out where things are and why it is what it is. And a lot of times I think people lash out because they know that there's stuff that they're working on that they see a friend that's working on. And their friend is gaining, and then they just get upset because they're in the same old rut that they were in and they can't get out of it. And then you're doing better, you're doing good. Well, that's not fair that you're doing this and I'm not. Well, if you want to do it, just get off your butt. That's the same thing I had to do. I had to get off my butt. Quit just sitting around and looking at everybody else getting good things in their life and, you know, moving forward and advancing themselves. When are you going to say, enough is enough, it's my time? And I've said it I don't know how many times with talking about this. You know, the biggest investment of anything you're going to do is going to be in you. That is the most important investment, and it will work, and it's going to work on you for your business relationships, your personal relationships, and your just on your own personal relationship with yourself, as long with the relationships with those around you. Again, week 4, day 3, Farrell's. It was a good move for me. Great move for me. And it's just that much more that helps me with the steps and the advancements that I've already done in the past couple of years. And it was just another good step for me. And hopefully, you know, this is either if it makes you wanting to get into Farrell's, or you wanting to do something to start investing into your life to really help yourself and start encouraging you and get yourself to move up to whatever that next level is. Thank you for being part of this journey. And again, I'm looking forward. I really am, because I'm nuts, right? The mid season, we'll call it, weigh-in and body mass. The body mass check and the sit-ups and the sit-ups and the push-ups and the timed mile run, just to see where I am after 5 weeks of doing this. In fact, I still have the goal that I want to do a 5K. I keep sharing that with everybody. So that gives me one step closer to actually being able to do a 5K and actually finish one. I mean, this goes back to high school. I was in cross country, which we did, 3.1 miles. I never finished one. Maybe it's time. It's time to cross that finish line. It's time to finish what you started and not just do it halfway. It's time to move forward and make that mark in your life. Get to that milestone. Where is it that you need to get to? And who can you find that is around you that's going to encourage you to get there? Are they encouraging you? Or are they being more of an obstacle or a thorn in your side and holding you back and not letting you get to where you need to be? Are they someone who has all the answers for you, but you're just being selfish and focusing on you, when you want to look at them and say, maybe if you'd start focusing more on yourself, then you wouldn't be focusing so much on me. Maybe you've got things that you need to work on. You have a lot of good points about my life, but what about yours? I'm doing this, what are you doing? Just simple little answers sometimes. You got to ask yourself those questions. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank everyone that's watching this and enjoying it as much as I am. Yes, I'm enjoying it. They kicked my butt, but keep kicking, right? So until next time, have a great day.